Hello everyone. This is Dr. Rajalakshmi, Associate Professor from CSE Department of RMD Engineering College. In today's session, we are going to see about characteristics of object-oriented programming. Our second year A section students, Aishwarya, Ashwini, Brinda, Charulata, and Abhinayashri are going to explain characteristics of object-oriented programming. Come, let's enjoy. Aishwarya, you can start.
Good morning. I'm going to talk about encapsulation. Encapsulation is defined as the wrapping up of data and the code which manipulates it into a single unit. It prevents the data from being accessed outside the bind. It ensures the protection of the data. Let us understand this with an example. A library is planning to move its books to another place. They are wrapping it up as similar books in a pack. This makes it easier to organize and secure the books from damage. Likewise, the data and the properties which are of similar type are encapsulated into a single unit and protected from any access from outside the class. Thank you. Brinda will continue.
So hello all, I'm going to say about polymorphism. So it is an ability of an object to take on multiple forms. So it occurs when there were one or more classes or object related to each other by inheritance. For example, if I am in classroom means I behave like a student. If I am going to market means I behave like a customer. If I'm in a home means I behave like daughter to my parents. So one person present in different behavior. For example, if we consider second example for this means we consider chameleon. So if we take chameleon means it exists in multiple form to camouflage themselves according to their situation. So likewise, an object taken multiple forms. So that is known as polymorphism. So now Ashwini will continue.
Now I am going to talk about object. Object is defined as the real-time entity or runtime entity. Object is the variable of the class type, and they are divided into two methods: data or variable property of the object, method, behavior or action. Object can be stored in memory location, and so they are associated with memory address. It can be considered as the instance or a variable of the class. For some example of the object, we can see that imagine we are going to build a building, and the building is called a object, and we are going to put the blueprint, that is called a class. And another example for that, know something and do something. Know something means consider the mobile phone, what is the model, what is the color, what is the weight, it is called the variable of the product. And it does something, what is its property, like purpose of like speaking and chatting, and many purpose we can use the mobile. So that is the behavior or action done by property. Now Arthi will continue.
So I am Artistry from CSE. Here I am going to do a class. In object-oriented programming, a class is a basic building block. It can be defined as a template that describes the data and behavior associated with the class instantiation. A class can also be a logical template to create the object that share common properties and methods. For example, let us consider a building. How we are going to build a building? We require some blueprint or structure. Here, building is the object and a blueprint is the class we are going to construct. Class is the structure of the object or working on it. So next, Abhi will continue.
Hi, this is Abhinayashri, and today I'm going to tell you about abstraction. So abstraction is the process of hiding the internal details of an application from the outer world. Abstraction is used to describe things in a simple terms, and it is used to create a boundary between the application and the client program. If I want to tell an example, when you're going to an ATM and you're just checking, go and withdraw your money, and then you go for bank, and you when you're going for a bank, you have seen that reception side, and you just going ask them how the process will be working here. We can't able to ask that, and is that all based on their work only. They are hiding this. We can able to only what are the process will taking place in the outer side only we can able to see. We can't able to what are the process going on that side, whether it is working on the server side or what of the SQL query they are using, and what is the password and ID. These are all in an abstracted manner. We can't able to say to them, so we can tell only in the outer process only. So you can see the real-time example, and your car is a great example for abstraction. You can start a car by turning the key or pressing the start button. You don't know how the engine is getting started, what all the components your car has. The car internal implementation and the complex logic is completely hidden from the user. I can say the another example, like we can heat our food in a microwave. We press some button to get the timer and type of the food. Finally, we get the hot and delicious meals. The microwave internal details are hidden from us, and we have been given access to the functionality in a very simple manner. So abstraction in the OOPS, objects are building block of object-oriented programming. An object contains some properties and method. We can hide them from the outer world through the access modifier. We can provide access only for the required function and the property to the other programs. Is this a general procedure to the implement of abstraction in the OOPS? Thank you.
Thank you, girls. Thank you for very nicely explaining. And now Charlata is going to explain one of the property of object-oriented programming.
Hello everyone, I'm Charlata of CSE department. Today I'm going to talk about inheritance topic, which is one of the characteristics of object-oriented programming. Inheritance is nothing but if one class acquires the properties of other class, then such process is called as inheritance. In real world example, you can take a relationship between a mother and a children. So in genetics, we all know that the traits from the mother will be carried or will be inherited by the children. So this is one of the real world example for inheritance. So in object oriented programming, the class which is inherited by another class is called as parent class. This is also called as super class or base class, and the class which actually gets inherited from the parent class is called as child class. So there are different types of inheritance. So the first one is single level inheritance, in which the inheritance take place in one level. It has only one class derived from the parent class. That is derived child or subclass can be retrieved from one parent class. And the next one is multi-level inheritance. In multi-level inheritance, the inheritance take place in more than one level. A child class can retrieve the data from a base class, whereas the subclass for the existing child class can retrieve data from subclass and parent class as well. So next one is hierarchical inheritance. In hierarchical inheritance, a single subclass can retrieve data from two base subclasses. So, and this is about inheritance. Thank you.
Thank you, students, for very nicely explaining the characteristics of object-oriented programming with real-time examples. Thank you all.